the God of Israel, was saying to the person of Jesus of Nazareth, "You have my unconditional acceptance. You have my favor. You are my beloved." And those words echoed throughout the life of Jesus of Nazareth as he came to understand more fully who he was and what his mission was. "You are my beloved," determined what he thought about himself. "You are my beloved," determined his relationship with the God of Israel, so that he could call him Abba, Father, Daddy. He understood that the relationship with this God of Israel was not some distant relationship, not some theoretical relationship, but one that was as close to any relationship, an intimate relationship we could have of love and care. "You are my beloved Son," determined his attitude and his actions. And Jesus of Nazareth lived and died true to his identity as the beloved and as the servant. The servant that Isaiah spoke about in the first reading, the servant to the nations, to bring about justice, to bring about right relationships, not only between God and humanity, but between humanity and within humanity and all of creation. Not by stomping on the bad guy, but by creating relationships of love, by creating relationships of encouragement, by validating and affirming the identity that God gives to each and every person. And so today we come here and on the baptism of the Lord, and this feast is to remind us that Jesus, as the reading from Isaiah said, reaches and grasps us by the hand, takes us by the hand, each and every one of us, and raises us up out of the waters, out of the dirty waters of humanity at times, but out of the waters of our baptism. And then Jesus says to each and every one of us, listen to what God is saying about you. Listen to what God is saying about each and every one of you. You are my beloved sons and daughters. You have an unconditional acceptance by God. You have an unconditional acceptance by God. You fit in. You belong. You are loved. Don't we need to hear that? Don't we need to listen to that? Don't we need to allow that to echo in our lives each and every day? Because if we hear that, if we listen to that, it will determine who we are. It will determine our actions. It will determine our attitudes. There are a lot of voices that call to us, that want us to listen. But who we listen to will determine what we hear. What we hear will determine what we think of ourselves. And what we think of ourselves will determine our attitudes and our actions. What sort of persons, what sort of community can we be if we lived each day in the truth of our identity? What sort of persons and community would we be if we lived according to that identity and we lived each day listening and allowing the words of God to echo in our lives, echo Echo in our lives when we wake up in the morning. Echo in our lives when we walk into our homes in the evening. Echo in our lives when we go to work. Echo in our lives when we go to school. You are my beloved. If we could just hear that in our heart and in our minds, in our spirits, it would define our mission. It would define our way of life. Confident, every single day, confident that we are God's beloved sons and daughters. God bless you.